Hello everyone, this is Rishira Ganguly from Let's OTT, and today we have with us the cast of Meera from Pitta Kathalu. And how are you? How are you feeling? How is today's morning treating you?
I think we're
Good.
good, excited,
Yeah,
pumped up.
excited and virtual promotions. So everything is new. First Telugu Netflix original. So yeah, a lot of excitement in the air.
Okay, so being an anthology which focuses on women, and being in an industry in which women are not free from the perpetual male gaze of sorts, how do these stories kind of redefine women centric cinema?
I think Meera seeks to delve deeper into the psyche of women, of complex relationships, of complex situations. It's not very cut and dry. It's not like good wife, bad husband, bad marriage, suffering wife has to get out. There are many more layers. Who Meera is, who she seeks to portray herself as, who she actually is, who she wants to be, and who she's pretending to be. There are so many layers. In that sense, it goes beyond these typical kind of cliches of a heroine and who a heroine should be or should not. We have very indulgently and lovingly given shades of grey to Meera, because I believe you should embrace every nook and corner of who you are as a human being, the
Right.
good, the bad, the ugly, the not so beautiful part of you is also you, and you must acknowledge that part of yourself. So in that sense, we are trying to present a more deeper and holistic view and texture of the female character, the female psyche in this complex story of Meera.
So, when it comes to adding gray characters to the story, how do you sort of chart how the audience will perceive those characters and how the audience will be impacted by those characters?
You can't really predict how an audience is going to see. You are your first audience. My actors are my primary audience.
Right.
You have to tell a story based on the pulse of what you're feeling and where it should organically go. We do have a few things where we want to lead the audience, and there
Right.
are a few strings that we've drawn. And through Meera, yeah, as you watch Meera, you will kind of be switching. You are sometimes sympathizing with Meera, sometimes you're sympathizing with Vishwa, and then you're partly judging Meera at times. You're thinking, man, she's being such a bitch. She's playing up so much and whatever. And then you do that little journey. So that is what we are working on the audience experiencing, and towards the journey completing and finally understanding Meera as a whole person who she is. You may like her, you may hate her, you may agree with her or disagree with her, but you will get a whole sense of her journey and a whole sense of this story. So that was the attempt.
When it comes to domestic abuse,
Mm.
the Indian mindset is more towards, this is an internal matter. No, nobody needs to get into this. This is, I mean, it's murky. But this story kind of opens up that conversation and puts it on the table.
Mm.
So how does this film kind of change that narrative of nahi ye to ghar ki baat hai, or this is an internal matter? How does the film change that narrative?
We have kind of tried to break this mindset that women who face domestic abuse are just weak women, disempowered women, not very educated, not very sure of themselves. That only they will kind of succumb to this and cover to the system. No, it can happen to anybody,
Hmm.
and it's a very complex process, that bit by bit how you are sucked into that process, and you don't realize you're so sucked in till you're far gone in. And it's very easy when people come out and say, why are you putting up with this? But there are so many things. So it could be some issues that Meera had in her own childhood and her own fears, which she's not able to overcome. And it's the kids and it's so many things, and you think, maybe if I work little harder or bend a little bit, it will get fixed. And then you start giving and giving, and then you're so far gone that you don't realize it. So we wanted to break it that somebody like Meera also could experience this kind of a power struggle. Meera is a writer, she's strong, she's independent, she's fierce. See, you will see in that thing, she's giving it back to him at times.
Right, right, right.
But then again, she's cowering down. So that kind of push and pull is constantly happening, but she's very scared also at the same time. So we wanted to create that kind of thing because that is what actually happens. It's not just weak women and powerful women, and this woman is a cop and should come and say no, and aise hoga, and the other woman is, just one cowering. It's that's too black and white. It doesn't happen like that. So
Right.
we try to kind of get into that, and we have, like I have said, we've not tried to create Meera as one holier than thou character. Meera made some choices, and probably it was this man's wealth and the power that he exuded that gave her the security that she wanted in the relationship initially, and that she was drawn to because she was in a sense of void from her earlier relationship. Then she went towards this, but the same whole elements, when they turn toxic, it becomes another story. So this house is this golden cage which is just this mute spectator to this whole thing which is happening, and people who think that Meera and Vishwa have this amazing, stunning, perfect life are actually, you cut to a close up of them and you see the murky secrets in the way they look at each other.
Right.
So yeah, so this is what we were trying to do.
And Amala, tell us about your character and how you prepared for that kind of. I mean, your story and your narrative also kind of weaves into this, uh, this brilliance of a narrative about domestic abuse and about the power dynamic between a husband and wife. So tell us about your character.
See, for an actor, see, end of the day, how good an actor you are, but if the scenes lacks depth, and if it's just yet another scene that you used to seeing, there is nothing new that an actor can bring into the plate, right? There is nothing, there is no variety. So as far as Meera is concerned, if you see, every scene is like, there was not even one scene where it was like, ha, chalo, okay, it's relaxed or it's chilled out. It's everything is so complex, and I think the first time I did a marital rape scene, or such kind of abuse, such kind of traumatic, like every day is traumatic living with this man, every moment is traumatic. I could even get killed or abused, and there's so much of negativity and toxicity at the same time. She's trying to, she's a mother, and she's a woman, and she's trying to cope up with it, but at the same time there's so much turmoil that's going within her, inside her. So it was very easy for me as an actor to, I just had to read the same paper, and some conversation with the director, and I was set. And like you said, it's very normal in the society, right? We all have grown up seeing this kind of abuse and situation in our own households, and like the our friends. I think this whole husband wife dynamics just just completely changes, after a while the ego comes into play, and we are like, these are they the same couple who were in love or who we knew? So we've seen it so much. It's just there in the memory, and I think with the right scene, everything just came out.
Right. So this movie, it comes in the wake of the Me Too movement. And how do you find this story that is being presented kind of weave into that movement's fabric?
Yeah, see, I think Me Too also stood out for, exploiting the power, exploiting your power, make another person, someone who is weaker than you in terms of power, enslaving them or forcing yourself on them. So yeah, I think here, the Meera, or this whole anthology, the concept was power play. So I think, yeah, that way we can relate this to the concept, or the higher people with higher power exploiting people with humans with lower power. So that way, I think, yeah, we can relate that the same dynamic. Also victims, after going through it for a long time, finally, Me Too gave them a voice to stand up and speak about it. But here Meera can't really, I mean, there is no point in talking about it. She has to, make an action, and she does that. So
How do you find the story and the movie kind of making a larger impact, because it's on Netflix, it's a global platform? So how do you find that making that impact on a larger audience than just a regional audience?
see, like if you're talking about Indian audience, we are already seeing a lot of Bollywood mainstream cinema handling such content. You can see a lot of gray characters and like a lot of stories where the dark realms explode. But down south, it's not. It's just changing. It's just begin to happen. Like directors or writers started writing about such sensitive content or exploring this dark side of human emotions, and actors started playing such roles. So I am more looking forward to this reaching the south audience, and the regional audience in a better way, and how they're going to embrace it, because this could create space for a lot of such empowering subjects and characters. So that's my take on it.
Thank you so much for your lovely answers, and I'm pretty sure everyone will be as excited to watch the film. It's been lovely talking to you, and this film is something that needs to be watched, that needs to be talked about, because it
Yeah.
brings important conversations to the table. And I thank you so much for joining me for in this interview. And yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank you
Miss
so much.
Ganvi. All the best.
Thank you. Thank you.